There we go.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Frank here for the Bakersfield Gentlemen. Here at Clippers on my brother Miguel, and it is for time for the second third of the week. Sorry, we're a little bit late. Had some stuff that we were doing and kind of ran behind on time. But we're here.
Had to be taken care of, had to be done. But it's all done now, so that's a good thing.
Yep. Today we're gonna be smoking one of the cigars from our fantastic sponsors, Artisa Cigars. This is the Buffalo 10 in Toro. This is a natural. It is a box press cigar. Very slender for a Toro. It is very boxer, very slender on the cigar. Um, but nonetheless, a fantastic cigar. If you guys have not yet tried Buffalo 10 from Artisa Cigars, this is along their budget-friendly line,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's a fantastic smoke.
yeah. There's quite a few of them in the lineup now. There's the Maduro, Connecticut, this natural, and I want to say there's Habano now as well. Don't quote me on that. I might just be saying things and not realizing that I'm wrong. That
Mhm.
happens all the time as well. Salvatore, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see all of you out there. Hope your Wednesday is going well. And obviously, a big shout out to the sponsor, Artista Cigars. Whether you're having a Chimarron or the Big Poppy, whatever it may be, I think you're going to enjoy it. I hope
Mhm.
you'll try it out with us.
Absolutely, Mike. Well put. Well put. So it is. It is Wednesday. You did the show this morning.
I
Ran late
did.
today.
A little bit.
On today's show, but Rich, how you doing?
Hey, Richard.
But I wanted to smoke the cigar because we haven't had a artist cigar on the show in a while. I know you were smoking some this past week, and it popped in my head. You know, we should probably have another one of those on the show, just to give people an idea of uh, what we smoke and
Yeah,
what we enjoy, and of course our sponsors want to give as much attention as we can.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Richard, this is the Buffalo 10 in Natural Toro from our sponsor Artisa Cigars, and I was having some water today.
Yeah, nothing fancy here in the cup. It's what do you call it? Diet Coke. Nothing at all, really. And look at there, Brian. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have had them or not. This is that everyday smoke level from Artista Cigars. Very happy to have it in hand. I'm a big fan of the Maduro as well, but I am not going to turn down a natural. Nice flavors, not overly strong, not overly complex either. It's a pretty like you get your flavors, and if you like those, you're going to enjoy it. I think it's not going to change a whole bunch on you, but it's kind of what it's designed for. It's a very in the pocket cigar.
Hmm. Yeah, especially even here out in California, the price point on this cigar is really nice. You're not gonna get upset if you put it down, it goes out, and you don't go back to it. It's another good cigar to fill the humidor up with as well. Um, Good cigar for someone who's maybe new to cigars but doesn't want something flavored. There's another great option for that as well.
Absolutely good. Yeah, an everyday cigar. What's up? Just smoked the black market. Jeff, yes, the black market. Depending on which one you get, is just a phenomenal stick. I would say across the board, they're pretty dang great. The illicit, the filthy hooligan, whatever you might be looking for, good stuff. Yes, yes, Richard. 2 weeks. Very excited for that.
I mean, this thing is putting off a ton of smoke just out the first few puffs. I mean, it's coming out the foot, it's coming out the head. I let go of a bunch of smoke, and that's something I really like to see when I'm smoking a cigar. Again, it's not indicative of a good or a bad cigar, the amount of smoke that you get on the output. But if you're smoking something, you want to know you're smoking something. If you're smoking and you're puffing, you're not seeing a whole lot of smoke. What's the point?
Absolutely. And if you are the ones watching, if you're not listening on the podcast, you could see that foot smoke on mine a second ago is just puttering away. And now it's a little died down, which is fine because I'm still getting a lot of smoke output whenever I take a draw.
Hmm.
So it is on point. I do appreciate that as well. It's definitely nice to see that smoke output. I don't want it to be nothing there. Bringing some jerseys to smoke in, just setting which ones. Not a bad call.
Yeah, not a bad call at all.
I gotta find my Condors jersey. That's the one I was smoking. Well, let me put that on screen right there. Brian has brought up a good comment here. The one problem I have with everyday cigars is I smoke them every day. I've not found one I don't get sick off. then I never want to smoke those cigars again. Too many other cigars to try. That is a solid point too, because you look at it, um, everyday cigar is usually for someone who has very specific one notes that they really like. They find that one cigar that's in that
Mm-hmm.
price budget that meets those needs, and then from time to time, the weekend with your buddies or a special occasion, then you go to other stuff. Um, sick off, not
Sick of.
sick of, yeah. No, yeah, it's not meant for those guys who want to try more of, or more stuff. It's really those guys who know what they want already, and they're looking for something that can meet that need on a daily basis, without breaking the bank.
But I get his point. Where even with the Cedar Room Select, I bet if I smoked that every day, eventually I would get sick of the profile. And I get that. And I think the thing is you have to remember is even though maybe an everyday cigar, you don't have to smoke it every day. You can substitute other cigars in there with different flavor profiles that still fit your palate. Um, I just think that to be an everyday cigar, it has to meet a price point criteria and at least a minimum flavor profile for your palate, to where if you had to smoke it every day, you could. Not that you do have to. You're more than welcome to change it up and smoke different things on different days. Have your Melanos on Mondays, your Tatuajes on Tuesday, and your Fuente on Friday. Your Pariah every day. Whatever
Exactly.
it may be. But yeah, I don't think just because it has to be an everyday cigar, you have to smoke it every day to the point where you get sick of it. I mean, you can buy 3 or 4 different bundle cigars that can be, considered everyday cigars that are really good. You can get this in the natural. You can get the Foundation, Charter Oak, and the Maduro. Those are everyday cigars, and you can mix them up, and that still works.
Yeah, you can find a good bundle stick that has a couple different wrappers, just like they do these. They have the natural, the Connecticut, and the Maduro at the very least. So you could definitely switch up what you have at least somewhat. But I definitely agree with Brian. I think I would get sick of the same cigar every single day. That's why there's so many out there. There's too many to choose from to be smoking the exact same cigar. Even if you just change it up in the same brand, that's good. Just slight change in profile can make a big difference.
Hmm
And then I would like to try. I would like to try one too, but I think that might be a dragon you just can't chase all the way. Uh,
I think if it comes down to that, it goes into a different category. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive. Um, it is going to be a higher end, not a higher end, but a more refined cigar.
yeah,
I mean, when you think of an everyday smoke, a lot of people talk about budget friendly cigars, because they're not going to break the bank to smoke every day. If you're looking for something you're not going to get sick of, obviously you're going to want to have something higher end that you do enjoy, like an Oliva Cervia Milano every day. I don't think I can get sick of that. I don't think you can get sick of that either.
I
You know,
I don't know about that.
or a Foundation or HVC, the hotcakes. Maybe that's your CO2 cigar. You can smoke that every day and not get sick. Or an Andalusian bull and not get sick. It really depends on what you're willing to pay for it.
I feel like even at that level, you might get tired of it, especially if you're a guy who does try different things. Sooner or later, you're like, well, I know exactly what I'm getting. It's great, but it's time to move on to something else. You just get tired of the same old. Thomas, Eduardo, how you guys doing? Closest thing that Brian has had is Connecticut Lancero from Southern Draw called the Morning Glory. I don't know if I've had that one before, but Southern Draw never really lets me down, so I don't see myself not liking it. Um, Revelations from San Cristobal was and still could be my everyday for Eduardo.
That's a
Not a
great cigar
bad
too.
call. Yeah,
I
that's some
like
good
that.
stuff. Not a bad at all. I smoked like 40 of those things in a row every day, and I did not get sick of them before I ran out of them. That's always good to hear. Actually, you know what? Then I guess, yeah, I have one too. Then I guess the punch egg rolls. I smoked like a box of those or more because I had 2 of those to go
Yeah.
containers. I think it came in 25 counts in to go containers. Um, yeah, I did not get tired of those. Not at all. So, okay, there are some out there that maybe for people specifically too. I don't know if this is not going to be like across the board or there's not that one cigar that everyone's going to love in the entire world. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Um, but for myself, and I think Eduardo said they're great. They are great. I thought it was really awesome. And Brian, I'll have to find that one because I have not had it for myself yet.
hmm The egg rolls are good. They definitely are good.
It's a volume contest. Volume 2 contest. if I need to get one in. No, I've been collecting everyone's photos. I'm just trying to get everyone a chance because I mentioned it super late. So I was gonna wait till probably the end of this month just to give everyone that final moment. So it's an extra. You don't have to enter it into the Great Ash contest. It's just whatever has a picture with the California Dreamin' Volume 2. That's how you get into that one. That's what you have to do. So that's the only difference. You can enter in both, I guess.
I'm sorry, I'm like lost inside of the ash of my cigar. I'm seeing like little spark ups of the coal.
Oh, you ever see that little?
A little, yeah, and like the little white little things on, and it says you get mesmerized. That's a good word for it. You get mesmerized by it.
That's solid. I've noticed that in a couple of cigars lately, where it's these sparks, little tiny explosions, in a tiny little
The earth
world
is
you make right
moving.
there. Yes, the Earth is moving. Uh, yeah, you get some picture of Frightmare. Yeah, Richard, absolutely. And I see a comment from Brian. You were smoking something recent that looked good. I never heard of with a white band. Can't remember the name of the band or the name the name on the band. White label. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna go back to my pictures and see if I can't find a white label band. It's green. Dot, dot, dot. Nope. Have a go,
Have a
Mike.
good one, Mike.
Um,
Was it Miguel or was it I smoking it?
might have been you because I don't see any white bands in my
Only
lineup
something
here.
recent that had it that looked good. Never heard of it.
It might have been. I have the only white band I have is going to be the La Madrina Connecticut, which is nice. I prefer the original La Madrina a little better, but both are pretty dang phenomenal. Um, and that band is a white band, back with that skeleton hand wrapped around a single red rose.
Mm-hmm.
Really eye catching, especially on the white or the black backdrop. It really does stand out, and I love the flavors to both. Again, I definitely would pick the Maduro or the San Andreas. I guess a little bit over the Connecticut. A little more flavor, a little more strength to it, a little more power. It's just in my wheelhouse like that. But I gotta call Ian anyway, so maybe I'll ask him what's on the docket for that next. But that's the only white band I can think of. You have any that you can think of?
Oh, let me go through my photos real quick. More than likely, I took a picture of it.
That's what I had to do. Little tobacco on the lip, not a big deal. But what out there has been smoking well for you guys? I mean, we're not at a, excuse me, gosh dang, tobacco on the tongue. We're not at a shortage of new good sticks out there, and there are so many that have been on the market, and we just haven't got a hold of them for whatever reason it might be. There's so much good that
No,
it's hard to pick them all out yourself.
Ryan, was it in a picture or was it at a show that we were doing?
Hmm.
That actually might help out also.
That's a good point. That is a good point. Tap that real quick. So yeah, let the ash tap right there. A good solid inch of ash. Holding on well, but I just didn't want to drop it on myself. Again, smoking the Buffalo 10 Natural from Artista Cigars. Absolutely phenomenal stuff and a wonderful sponsor of the show. Not only them, but we also have Cigar Heritage Festival, which is another sponsor that I hope you guys will check out. Hope you guys will go to the event and check out one of the 3 stores, whether you're in California or Florida. You can hit up Lord Puffers, the Grand Cigar Cathedral, or over to Heritage and Wine. And they're just taken away with new cool deals.
Mm-hmm.
So you are not going to be disappointed. Go check it out, and you can get some really good treats at any of the 3 locations. Whew, definitely good stuff. Now you said, I believe you're going to go watch a game tonight, right?
Yeah, it's game 6. Lakers versus the Warriors. Close game on Monday. They spanked them on Saturday
That was
by 30 points.
yeah,
And a close game on Monday. So I'm hoping Lakers close it out to get some extra rest. We'll have to wait and see. I think because the game is in the Warriors' back court, it's gonna be a tough one. But they did still game 1 over there in the Warriors' home. Let's say home field, home court. So we'll have to wait and see.
That was a much closer game. Only got to hear the end of it. I think on the radio. Not what's the word I'm looking for? Not getting to sit down in a comfy chair and watch it. We were in the car getting to the next spot. But the fact that they completely destroyed them, and I guess the game before that though it was vice versa. Like it was pretty bad for LA. So what is it? 4-2 or something like that? Or
Yeah.
yeah. So I think LA is gonna finish it tonight. I will probably not be watching. I got some stuff I gotta take care of, but I'm safe in my bet. I think of thinking the Warriors are not gonna move forward.
No.
Not after tonight. But then again, I still am going for the Celtics to take the whole thing. That's my opinion, and I believe they're still doing pretty dang well.
Yeah,
so.
they are. They're still doing just fine right now. I don't know about the other conference. I only was really paying attention to the Lakers conference. I didn't see them making it to this round, so kind of really good on them for actually doing it.
The Lakers?
Yeah.
They weren't doing that well this year?
Well, they were ranked 8th.
8th. That's a little startling for that kind of company right there. With the players they have on there, that should not be how it's going. Richard, every time the Lakers make a basket, take a shot at tequila, I don't know if I could do that. That I wouldn't see you at Frightmare. That would be dead. That's too much tequila for any man, unless you're like Andre the Giant, I guess. What was that record of beer? I'm going to look that up real quick.
There was a lot of beer.
There was a lot of beer. Anyone, put in your guesses. Don't look it up, please. If you know, but don't look it up. No cheating. I would love to see. Let's see. Andre the Giant beer. Come on. Record. What are your guesses? I'm thinking it was like 95 or something. 16 for Rich. Yeah, just a 60. He had a
late day
24 count, and then it's like, nah, I don't need all of them. Someone else can take a couple of these. Holy crap. Yeah. The number is a lot. I'm just gonna go in and say this and really quick. And let's see Eduardo's comment though. What is this? Warriors win and Sixers finish the Celtics next game. I don't know about any of that. I don't know, sir. Under the Giants beer record is 116 12-ounce cans in 6 hours.
Wow.
So that's what, 20 cans an hour basically?
Yeah.
That's
a lot.
Way too many. That is way too many. But again, he was a giant. Pretty much literally a giant.
Remember them saying how he passed? Was it because of his sickness or was it alcoholism? Or was it?
No, it was his gland. He never got the surgery. He wanted to continue growing. It's the same, what do you call it? Surgery that the Big Show ended up having, and it saved his life because he stopped growing. And it was complications of that led to Andre the Giant's passing. I think he was a pretty young guy from what I remember. I mean, he wasn't that old when he passed away. If I go to that one real quick. Back in 93. How did he pass away? It was a heart attack at the age of 46. Yeah.
So still a relatively young man.
I'd say that's very young, especially for today's standards. Maybe back in the 90s, being born, in the 50s then for him. That might have been a little less shocking, especially with his line of work and that many beers in 6 hours. That's definitely not exactly a recipe for health. But then you have guys like in the same industry, just think of that, Ric Flair, who survived a plane crash and all the craziness he's done and the amount of women and the travel and the falling and hundreds of hours. What?
Virgins.
All that. Hundreds of hours of a year wrestling. I think he said he was doing 3 or 4 hour-long matches a week in his beginning, because that's what they used to do. It used to be like a couple smaller matches, get the crowd warmed up, and then one large hour-long match. And that's impressive. See, Brian, still a young man right there. Rookie numbers. No, not rookie numbers, Richard. Been 46 since January. Yeah, so you guys are about to beat Andre the Giant's record of years on this earth. And that's a pretty good record to beat. And I want you guys to continue to surpass it by decades and decades.
Yeah.
It was the green band cigar. Oh, okay. So that would be the Chimarron, I believe. Yeah, it comes from these guys right up there, Artista Cigars. A little large on the ring gauge than I usually like, but they do have smaller ring gauge cigars for that one. I believe it comes in the standard. Your Robusto, Toro, and Gordo. I don't think they went with any crazy sizes on that guy in particular. But there is a rebrand coming that I really want to get Ram on the show for, because all the boxes are already being shown with the new logos and the new, more uniform colors to them. That red, yellow, I believe green and blue. So they're streamlining and what's the word I'm looking for?
You said what color the boxes?
Yellow, blue, green, and red, I believe.
I don't think they're red. I think you can't use green or red
For what?
for boxes for those.
Why not?
I forget what the rule was.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not.
I'll look it up.
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
yeah. We'll have to redo that because they're white boxes with those accents of those colors, so it's not fully like red. It's not fully yellow a box, but
and speaking of the boxes, you know how our friends in the north have that thing, plain packaging, plain boxes, plain labels, whatnot. And I think Australia might have it as well. Was it Australia?
Australia, New Zealand, I
New
believe.
Zealand?
Yeah.
Now I'm sure people have seen it if they follow, any kind of cigar news. They've seen, so and so pushes for plain labeling.
Yeah.
And you see these boxes that are whiter. I believe the Canadians that came in said theirs were like an olive drabish color.
Yes.
With plain text.
Yes.
Would that, to you guys, have you buying less boxes of cigars if they came in plain packaging? Would that determine how many you bought? I mean, if you want a whole box, but you want the box because of the beauty of the artwork, and then you come to find out they're not doing plain packaging, would you instead get like 2 10-packs or a couple of 5-packs and then get something else in 5-packs? Oof. I mean, how would plain labeling rules here in the United States affect the way you buy cigars? Will you not buy as many at the same time of that cigar? Will it not affect you at all? Because you're just gonna take them out anyways and throw them in your humidor. Maybe you might like it because then you can actually like write on the box like purchased this day, this much. This day smoked one.
This
rotated
lounge, whatever.
Yeah, rotated cigars this day. Had one this day. What do you guys think?
The bands are covered too with olive green. Yeah, Brian. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're talking about that. Like some companies will not even include the original band. They'll just throw. But I think it sounds easier for them just to throw one over it. Not as cool as the ones Brian does, by the way. Brian's are for a purpose, not just to be jerks. If you want to give them the spiel in the comments, brother. This is a couple of factors in there. I would assume would be added in there. If you're in a place where they're doing that, the price is going to be more because they're never just one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably not buy a box. I would probably end up buying a 5-pack or 1 or 2 at a time, especially in Canada where it's very difficult to find a spot to smoke at all.
And that's why I bring it up because those Canadian folks, those nice Canadian guys and his girlfriend, they came in and they would have been on a trip from I think like almost Mexico City. I think that's how far down they were.
They went so many kilometers. Those guys.
Yeah, and then we're going back to Canada, and
as the moose runs.
Is that how the crow flies?
So yeah, well they're Canadians. As the beaver builds a dam.
Moose and elk are a lot bigger than I thought they were.
They're huge.
Like I saw one that was comparison to like a little Honda Civic hatchback. That thing was like taller.
They're like truck size, like a good 250 truck.
Anyway, not to get onto moose and elk talk. So they were coming through, and I mean, this guy was having me pull boxes upon boxes of Padron off the shelf that he wanted. The new blackened from Drew Estate, anything Rocky Patel that was a full box he wanted, and I was like, you know what our taxes are like here, right? He's like, I know, I love them. And I was like, what do you mean you love our taxes? We're at 65%, bro. He's like, yeah, we're over 100. And I'm like, oh.
You're in Canada. And
so, he was so happy. He's like, so much cheaper. Yeah. And he's like, I need this box. And you have that box? No. Oh. But you bought this box? Yes.
You did tell me I didn't know what real taxes were all about.
Yeah.
Until we get to Canada. And I have to agree with him. And Mila putting in that work for Brian. $40 to put on 200 bands, I think you got a good deal there. I think you got a good businesswoman there and a good businessman making a fair deal. Because that's a lot of work to put bands on. Believe you me.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say though? If now here's the other thing. Obviously, those two go hand in hand: the price and the restrictions and the art restrictions. If it was one or the other, for instance, either you're paying a high tax and you keep your artwork,
Mm-hmm.
or you put those nondescript, terrible trigger warnings or safety warnings they put on certain ones. I think in New Zealand they do that. With they show a rotten mouth, like, "Oh, this is gonna happen to you because you're a bad person for smoking,
Mm-hmm.
terrible human being," but you're not. Um, if you was one or the other, I think I would choose the plain labeling and have more cigars. I think
Mm.
I would choose for the taxes to be lower and pay a little bit less. This is definitely one-sided on my part here. I feel bad because the artwork is beautiful. I do love it, and
It
I think
is.
it makes saving boxes worth it. Right here in Culebra's Lounge, where we film from, I see 2 3 dozen boxes on the wall, a whole bunch of bands right here on the table, which is beautiful artwork, and then boxes made into tables and stands everywhere else. Their artwork, and they are repurposed into more artwork and functional artwork at that. Um, so getting rid of those is a big blow, I think, to people buying cigars, and they know why they're doing it because of that. They know what they're doing, especially with the taxes, trying to change the age rules. It's it's I don't even know how to describe it anymore. It's not unfair. It's just it's underhanded almost. It really is.
That's interesting. You go for the cheaper cigar and the labeling. Um,
Yeah,
and you know, I think a lot of people are in the same boat, and I'll tell you why. Um, I think people could as easily take a plain label box and again write on it, stuff it in their humidor where they keep their aging stuff, and be fine with it. I know it would be cheaper for the manufacturers. They're not putting all that artwork on their box; just a simple plain box. Um, so yeah, you know, I think I don't want it to happen, obviously,
no,
but
no.
I would be in the same boat. If I would get them cheaper, I'd probably just take the plain. Because if I'm going to age them, I mean, I have two, three.
Like maybe 4 or 5 boxes
I think I have
tops.
3 or 4 boxes of
Yeah.
cigars that I'm aging. Um, and that's it. I don't really age a whole lot of I don't really buy a whole lot of boxes. I mean, I told you guys before. We get so many sent to us. It's what we use for our giveaways.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that I don't really buy them by the box. I'll buy a few 5 packs in there to support different people that I want to support. Like when we had Family by Loyalty as our #1 cigar, we bought a 5 pack of cigars from them. Um, so we have them on the show, and of course they arrived the day after the show.
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That was.
Uh, yeah, I think I might be into. I could just as easily just take them all out of the box, put them in humidor.
I'd prefer that, honestly. That's what I do anyways. I don't. Yeah, again, not many boxes. It's individuals. It's a couple doubles here and there, just because I really like
Mm-hmm.
something, or I know that I'm gonna need one to smoke off and on. For instance, if we do a review and then do a live show, can't use the same cigar for that, obviously. Um, Richard still needs to get the Frecky. Absolutely need to try that out, brother. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Our #1 cigar of the year, and for good reason. It's delicious. Great flavors, great blend, great construction. You just can't get enough. I can't get enough of that cigar. So I believe they're gonna need to be more of those soon. That one might be a box buy. It just is what it is sometimes.
Yeah.
I,
PCA is approaching.
Yeah, approaching and approaching pretty quickly. I know it's in July and we're still in May, but that's not that far off.
Mm-mm.
Things really sneak up on you this time of year. Um, I am trying my best to keep on it all, guys. There's so much to be done, and we will get it all done. It's just a matter of how quickly
Yeah.
and where you want it out there. As we said, the podcast is back up and going. So if you're listening to this versus watching, we definitely appreciate that. But there's also the Rumble content. Twitter's finally doing something with that, just because never really was our forte, but there's plenty of cigar guys on there as well, and it's a great way to get the word out, and it's a great way to keep another type of censorship, not even government censorship, it's platform censorship, from causing us problems. Um, YouTube and Facebook could turn this off right now in the middle of the stream, and we couldn't do much about it, but it'd still be on Twitter right now. because Twitter, as far as I know, is not cracking down on anything like that. This kind of content is not protected exactly, but not discouraged either. So I appreciate that.
Brian, it would be nice to figure out what to do with the empty boxes. Honestly, man, you can make end tables out of them. You can um
Heck, they made a full-on nightstands
yeah.
and full-on coffee table, which is awesome. I'll have to get a little video of that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's beautiful.
Or I mean, you could always be really cool if you guys have empty boxes. Take them to your local lounge and see if they'll let you start a pile. Cigars are more. Every time they have empty boxes, they put them to the side, and they don't charge for them. I know a lot of lounges that they'll charge,
$5,
$5 a box, $8 a box, $10, whatever. Some do whatever the cost of a single cigar was. I saw that before. That was like, that's interesting.
That's kind of that is kind of interesting.
But yeah, and put them there for people to take and let them create something really cool. We've had people make clocks out of them, guitars, purses for the ladies. There's other stuff.
I did a little DIY project where I made one into a little shelf. So you just kind of hang it on the wall because it's not going to hold a whole lot, but you reinforce the lid so it's the base of so it sticks out kind of far off the wall. But then you have the box itself hanging there, so you have a nice shelf space, and then you have artwork on your shelving unit, which I kind of enjoy. I think if I put a couple together, either the same size or close to the same size, what would be a good one? I think like the Fuente boxes would do well with those. Because you can get some that line up perfectly with each other.
Mhm.
Make a little shelving unit out of it.
Or like Eduardo to get some signed if you want them signed. We have a few here signed by who is it? Fuente, Patel, Padron, Christoph.
I think Booth signed one.
Yeah.
Hamlet signed
the Calibra he made, which is huge. Yeah, so there's lots of stuff you can do with them.
He will be real quick. Richard is asking when and where will Fuente be in Dallas? That is going to be at the Blue Smoke of Dallas on the Tuesday before we get there, which is great. That is May the 23rd. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The 23rd at the Blue Smoke of Dallas. Really wish I would have known that before we booked everything, because that would have been awesome to kind of fit that in somehow. A little difficult. Would have been still stretching it, but with better planning and a little more time, we might have been able to make that work. And it's so annoying because I'm going to talk to him Friday. For those who bought the shirts from Melanie, I'm going to do the hosting job for her for the meetup. So if you got your shirt, you have a chance to win an exclusive or a limited edition box of some opuses, some opii, as you should call them. So that was a really cool thing they did, and the money for the shirts went to the fundraiser or the excuse me, the school. So you did a really good job too, guys.
Yeah, right there.
Had a cough. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Let me get rid of that. Much better. But yeah, so I would have loved to have seen him in person though. Would have been way better.
I know Richard's said he'd sign some, as probably as a joke. But another cool thing you can do is you can like for the cigar meetup, we can take a box. It doesn't matter what box really. Take a picture of the group, have that pasted to the front of the box. Have everybody that was there sign it.
Sign the inside or something.
Yeah, it's a nice little memory thing.
That is a really cool. Oh, I love that. We should do that for events more often. Boom. Came across you guys by accident. I would Bakersfield to wait. What does that say?
Hashtag
notice 0661.
That's not about it. You did not tag Bakersfield.
Tag Bakersfield. Oh shoot, I did not.
Oh, come on, bro.
I forget in my defense, my bad.
In my defense, I do not do the hashtags for the show. I do it for the Instagram.
You don't do shit for the show.
And it is hashtagged on Instagram, Bakersfield, Baco, and Kern County. So it is on the Instagram and on the Facebook posts, but not on the live show. That is not me. So if there's somebody, to my left, your right, that's probably their fault.
That is 100% my fault. I will do that though, absolutely. And thank you for watching with us.
Yes, thank you very much
for joining us. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just for those who might not remember, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday at 5 a.m. West Coast or 8 a.m. East Coast time. Definitely getting some more traction there. I love it. Richard says, Who is going for the XFL championship, Arlington or DC? I got to check out the teams again. I have been so out of the loop, and I'm really disappointed in myself because I was so excited when it came back. And let it
I
fall
missed
aside.
the AAFL or AFFL, whatever it was. Um, they had one of the coolest teams. They had the San Diego Admirals or
Fleet.
something. Fleet, yeah,
The San
San
Diego
Diego
Fleet.
Fleet.
Great
And
name.
they had a battleship on there, then or like a kind of orangey, yellowish, and gray. And I love that. I love me being a Navy guy. I love that. But as far as the XFL, I did watch a few games. I thought it was really cool. I don't know if they're doing it the same way as the AFL or AAFL, where during the off season, players can have the option to play in the NFL also, which I thought was really cool. So it's like another developmental league for the NFL. I don't know if they're doing that. If they do, that's awesome. But I haven't kept up with their playoffs or their championships. So Arlington versus DC.
I'm going DC because the politicians might be terrible, but hopefully the sports are better.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Robert, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. And Richard could also use the boxes of store bands from the cigars that you smoked. I actually did that for a while, and then we transitioned over to these glass jars in here, and then we did a shadow box for the first like 1,000 that we had on the show and reviews and stuff. We'd save all the cigar bands for like it was like 2 weeks or something.
Oh, yeah, I think I have
1,000
the
cigars,
picture.
like 2 weeks.
Let's see if I can find that picture. That was a good picture.
That was a fun little project and it was a good giveaway. I forget who won, but they sent us a picture too, so that was really cool. Um, follow you on Instagram as well. You'll probably find us easier on Instagram because of him tagging properly. Bakersfield. I will fix that. I will remedy that situation. That is definitely on me. Um,
When is it not?
sometimes it's not. There are moments. There are situations. Excuse me, real quick. I'm getting a call right now. I don't know who this is.
All right, then I'll find that picture later. Then, but yeah, and, I've heard of some people storing cutters and lighters in them, especially some of the more plasticky boxes that they make. If they keep their stuff outside, like on an outdoor patio set, you know, they just put some cutters, some lighters, maybe some cedar spills, some matches in there, and it's like a little everyday carry for outside, and just leave it outside with their stuff when they're ready to smoke outside. Um, you could probably treat it somehow. Also, if you really like the box, take the lid off, treat the inside with some kind of resin or something, and make a cool ashtray out of it. I think Joe, with any last words, she could probably make something like that. I gotta ask her. I think that'd be kind of cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's so many uses. I mean, boxes are boxes. Even though they're a bit smaller than normal size box. Matchbox cars. There you go. Even Matchbox cars. I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, so many uses. And again, if you don't have a use for them, I would say don't throw them away. Still take them back to your local brick and mortar. Someone out there might be trying to make something out of them, and it might help them out a whole bunch, or they don't have to go looking for them. They go to the one spot, like again, Cigars and More does it. Any empty boxes they have, they put them to the side, and people know they can go in there and just grab a couple if they want them. Um, I've seen some people just grab them because they bought 5 or 6 cigars or 10 cigars, and they put them in a bag with the Bovita, but they want something to kind of still keep them secure because they don't want them banging around in the car or they're driving around for a few days. So they'll just throw them in an empty box. I've seen that before as well, or they use them as like a gift box to store cigars.
Can back. So anything Frankie said is probably wrong anyway. So we can get to correct information. Um, no, I'm just kidding. I heard storage basically,
Mm-hmm.
safety reasons in the car. I've used a cigar box basically as a humidor for a while. You throw your Bovita in there or
Yeah.
your what do you call them? Damn it, what's the word? The other guys, the white labeled ones. They were
Integra
not Integra.
Boosts.
Boost.
Boost.
It is Integra. Yeah, I just call them boosts. This is just boost. Either way, it's not going to last very long in there, guys. That's the thing. Most boxes aren't meant to be humidors. There are some beautiful ones that are, and they do a wonderful job. But at the very least, you keep a box closed, and if they have the little clamp on it, you could keep them for a week or two. I don't think you're gonna have any real problems. Check your boost, make sure it's soft still. Check your Bovita, make sure it's soft still. I still don't really recommend chlorophyll, that green stuff.
No.
That's just across the board, though. Whether it comes built into your travel case, your travel door, or they have a spot for it in your humidor, I'd say go ahead and take that out. I just feel like those are the quickest to mold. That really depends on temperature too, because I think too much humidity and anything, and the temperature gets to the right spot, you're not going to have a great time. Um, so just be safe out there. I believe in you guys. I know you can handle your stuff, but that's just a little bit of advice. And for Eduardo, I forgot. I also use one box for storing my lighters and one box for my cutters. That is genius. I should be doing that, but they're scattered across 3 locations. Um, not in any good order either. I feel foolish.
I sent you the picture.
On Facebook?
Yes.
Let me get that up. Oh, okay. I remember this picture now. Yeah, if you guys, this is an old one. This is back when I think the first actual like studio space that we made for the show.
Yeah.
And that is an old ass model. She's just, oh my god. No, I mean, she's not old at all. That is Ashley with her green hair. I think that's green wig. I don't remember if
There's
it's
a
actually
wig,
yeah,
yeah.
it was a wig. But holding that very full shadow box full of cigar bands. My god.
And in fact, it was our friend Brienne that we met at Texas Fragment who won it.
She did, yeah, she did win. That's
and
right.
she sent us a picture that for whatever reason, I guess it didn't save to my clock, so I don't have it anymore.
Ah,
But sends a picture of where she put up in her home.
that's cool. Maybe she'll send. Maybe we could ask her again. We're gonna see her soon, anyways. Hopefully. But yeah, that's too cool. The shadows. I wish you guys could see the pictures a little better, but you can make out a couple in there. There's definitely some Oliva and some Fuente. I definitely see a couple of the Cedar Room Selects in there, and we talk about those all the time just because there's no more available. I don't know where you would go to even get them if they even have any left. They were again, guys, really cheap. They're like $3.50 to $4 a stick, and these were the short magnums. This Churchill and a regular Toro or Robusto. I can't remember if it was one or the other. Was it Toro? Yeah, and you were looking at a good like hour and 15 out of those magnums. The Churchill maybe like an hour, and the Toro's 45 minutes. So you're getting a great burn time out of a short fill cigar, and the flavors were very pleasant for beginners because at that time we were still just getting our feet under us, and it was a way to fill up the humidor. And we actually bought a whole box of that magnums, and it was not your average box. It was like a little wooden ammo crate. Yeah. So sorry, guys. Apologize for that. But it definitely just shows you that there is a box of something out there for everybody. And just depending on what you want to do with that box is really up to you. Those ones were not fancy.
No.
It's just a sticker label saying Cedar Room Select. It'll basically look like the band and just give you a little information.
Good stuff, though. Good stuff nonetheless.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to take that off screen for a moment. But yeah, I very much appreciate those. Actually, speaking of XFL too, though, I wish we go back to that for a second, but not quite XFL news, but similar and is in another league that's not quite the big dog out there. Obviously, they're not going to beat the NFL anytime soon. They're not going to beat them in ratings.
That would be interesting, though. You take the XFL champion, and they play the NFL's worst place team,
the worst record.
Yeah, and if they lose, they get relegated to the XFL, and that
Oh,
team gets promoted onto the NFL.
oh, that's a tough one right there.
That would be interesting.
But my point being though is that wasn't the only kind of underdog league we were watching. BKFC, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships, was on the other night in the middle of Raw of all times. I didn't realize. Shout out to Fubo, the app. I still don't know how to use it. Thank God it's here on the screen or on the TVs over there. There's some good fights in there. They got rowdy. There was a guy got disqualified for headbutts, and they ended up going to blows after the bell too.
Yeah.
After he was disqualified, but the women's fighting, it was like a featherweight, brutal featherweight. That was some incredible stuff to watch. I'm gonna watch more of that bare knuckle fighting, and XFL versus the USFL versus the Canadian League. That's what it should be. All three of them.
All right, Richard, you've sold me. Their name is the Renegades, and that's actually the name of our local JUCO school here. I know Miguel loves that term JUCO.
No, I don't. That's dumb.
They're also the Renegades. So I will go with you on that one, Richard. I will back your Arlington Renegades.
As far as junior college football goes, too, they were a pretty dominant force for a long time.
They were for a long time. They were a really good team.
Maybe wavered a little bit lately, but not. They're still a force to be reckoned with. Maybe not the best ever anymore, but they were.
Right now, California, it's like College of the Canyons is like up there.
Impressive though. But yeah, BC Bakersfield College football was impressive and still is pretty impressive, but it was at a whole other level for quite some time. So
Much like some of the high school teams around here. I didn't realize, Liberty, uh, Bakersfield, the Drillers,
oh yeah,
Bakersfield Christian.
yep.
They're all top teams, top ranked teams. It was crazy to me to see how many high schools are actually out here. Coming from Ventura, we had 3 high schools. We had the private school, St. Bonaventure, which in their own right was a powerhouse until they moved divisions. Ventura High, where I went, and Buena High School. And they're big rival game every year. The stadium was always full for the rivalry game. It was always played at Ventura's home field because the biggest one. Buena didn't have a field at the time. They'd use alternating home and away,
That's right.
and they would alternate. The small stands for the away team, big stands, concrete ones for the home team, and they would switch every year. And when we left Ventura, they actually had one more high school. They added a Foothill Technology School, the Sea Dragons. It's the weirdest name to me.
But don't they not have teams?
But they don't have sports. So if you wanted to play sports, wherever you were supposed to go, if you're supposed to go to Buena, you'd play for Buena. If you're supposed to go to Ventura, you'd go to Ventura and do sports there with them. Which it was okay.
I thought it was choose your own. Like
No.
what do you call it? Oh, I for some reason I remember someone saying that, and I was like, oh, that's good for the students because it was already a more difficult work schedule for the students themselves for academics. So you figure they get a little reward if they kept their grades up. They could just choose what school they want to. Maybe go with their friends. But if you look at the high school territory, what do you call those lines? District lines. You're already with your friends usually because you're growing up together. Middle school to high school to whatever you might have. For ourselves, private school, it was 12 years. It was 12 years in the same location basically. You just go across the parking lot to the next school, and that's where you were. And then the church was right in the middle. So you grew up with these people. It's a community that embeds from kindergarten until you graduate, and then they send you off to really great colleges and stuff because it's great academics as well as sports for St. Bonnie. And I kind of like that. I think that should be the way it is more often. The numbers are really big to support that because obviously we had 30 plus in the class, maybe 200 graduating from high school at a time versus 1,000 kids going through the school and a whole bunch of middle school classes, not just one, and then 500 to 700 kids graduating per college or per class for senior year. So it's a lot harder to do that with those numbers. But I think it creates lasting bonds, and that kind of creates a more tight-knit community. I think we could use that more often.
Yeah, well said. Well said. That's all I got for today, Mike.
I think that's gonna do it. I think that's gonna do it for right now. But before we let you guys go, again, remember the podcast is finally back up, which I am very excited to say. And then I gotta find a picture for you guys so I can do our shameless plugins as we're supposed to do. Come on, keep talking for me, bro.
Okay. Again, I want to thank our sponsors, Cigar Heritage Festival and Artista Cigars. And again, we were smoking today. This was the Buffalo 10 in the natural, Toro. So another fantastic cigar from Artista Cigars, you guys.
There we go. Oh, that's the Cinco de Mayo one.
That's fine. It works.
That technically works. All right, I'm going to show you guys this picture. Guys, we have the raffle happening still. It is filling up, and I want to see that handed out as soon as we can. If you guys want to get in on that, this picture doesn't show the other ones, but it will be all 5 sticks and a 5-pack. That means you get 25 cigars with this. You get the bottle of Jack Daniel's Sinatra, tasting glasses, cutters, lighters, and a travel case to go with to keep on hand. It is such a nice round collection of items, from your cigars to accessories to a little bit of something to drink with that. You will not be disappointed. If you want to get your spots, let me know ASAP. Contact Direct for that. And if you would like to get the cigar deal, if you get 3 packs of cigars, you get a spot in there for free. So that's another way to get in. You have 2 ways to win, guys, and I hope you will take advantage of that.
All right, guys. We will see you guys on Friday.
I'll say now that's all I got. All right, guys. Yeah, you have a good one. I will see you all in the morning for Great American Morning, and we will talk to you very soon.
See you guys.
Yeah, Eduardo. That will look good in your home. Have a good one.